Okay, 1.4 day 2, we're going to do systems with 3 equations. Okay, so this system right here has 1, 2, 3 equations. If you have 3 equations, you have 3 variables. So in this case, we have x, y, and z. So a solution to a system with 3 equations is an ordered triple instead of an ordered pair. X, y, and z, whose coordinates make each equation true. They don't have to be x, y, z, but we do normally put them in alphabetical order, like a, comma, b, comma, c. Okay, so we're going to start out with some triple systems that can be solved using back substitution, which is going to be a little bit easier. Okay, so if I look at this system, I have 3x plus 4y minus 2z equals 23, 7y minus 4z equals 2, and 5z equals 15. Okay, when you look at it, if you see something that's easy to solve, I'm going to solve that first. So if I look at this, I see 5z equals 15. I can solve that right now. So let's go ahead and do that. 5z equals 15. What do I get? Z equals 3. Okay, so I already got one of the variables for my ordered triple. Okay, now what can I do? Okay, so let me go backwards. Right here where z is, I can plug in 3 now. Now if I plug in 3 here, I'm going to be able to solve for y. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so 7y minus 4z, what's z? 3, equals 2. So let's try this. 7y minus 12 equals 2. Plus 12, I get 14. Divide by 7, I get 2. So I have z is 3, y is 2. I just need to figure out what x is. Okay, to get x, I need to go back to the first equation, because that's the only one that has x in it. Okay, I need x. So let's do 3x plus 4y. What's y, though? 2. Minus 2z. What's z? 3. And then what does this equal? 23. Okay, let me double check my work. 3x, 4y minus 2z equals 23. Okay, let me go ahead and multiply some of this out. What is this? 3x plus 8 minus 6 is 23. I'm going to make that easier. 3x, 8 minus 6, 2. Okay, if I subtract 2, I get 21. So I got x equals 7. Okay, so I solved for all 3 variables. Now for my final answer, I'm going to write an ordered triple. So alphabetical order x first, then y, then z. Okay, now if you wanted to check your answer, if I take 7, 2, and 3, and I plug it in here, here, and here, it'll equal 23. If I take y and z, and I plug it in here and here, I should get 2. And then if I plug in z, 3 here, I should get 15. So that's how you can check your answer yourself. Okay, go ahead and try the next one on your own. Okay, unpause when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, hopefully you finished. I got z equals 4, y equals -1, and x equals 2. So my final answer is 2, 1, 4. Okay, example 2 is going to be a lot more work. Okay, now for the first example, there was an equation that was easy to solve. In this example, all 3 equations look about equally difficult to solve. Okay, because of that, we're going to have to create our own system to solve this. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of equations going on, I'm going to label these. You do not have to label them. I'm doing it so that when we do the notes, you can see where I'm getting the equations from. Okay, now they're lined up for elimination, so I'm going to use elimination. When you do elimination, you're going to eliminate one letter at a time. I can do x, y's, or z's. It's a matter of which one looks easier to me. So for the x's, they're okay. Y's look okay. For the z's, these 2 z's look like they could cancel pretty easily. So I'm going to cancel the z's. Now I'm going to cancel the z's. I'm going to start with just 2 equations. Since a and b look easiest, let me go ahead and start with a and b. So equation A is this one, and copy it carefully. I feel like half the mistakes are just copying mistake. 2x plus y. Okay, now I chose these 2 equations because it looked like the z's were going to cancel. So if I look at this, the z's are going to cancel. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel the z's and bring everything else down. 3x plus 2x is 5x. 4y plus y is 5y. Z's cancel. 3 plus 7 is 10. Okay, so now I have the equation 5x plus 5y equals 10. which I cannot solve yet, but it is a little better because it only has x's and y's in it. So if I had another equation with only x's and y's in it, I could solve for x and y. Okay, so I used a and b on this first step. I didn't use c yet, so I have to use c on this next step. Okay, now because I canceled the z's out here, I want to cancel out the z's in the c equation. So this is a 3z. It doesn't cancel yet with one of those, but I could cancel it with either one of those easily if I times by 3 or negative 3. So I'm going to use c. Let me copy down c. Or am I going to put it over here? Okay, and then I want to cancel the 3z, so I can use equation A or B to do that. It does not matter which equation you use. If one looks easier, I would use that one. They both look about equal difficulty. Maybe I'll just use A. So 3x plus 4y minus z equals 3. Now, because I canceled the z's, I have to cancel the z's here. Okay, they don't cancel right now, but if I multiply a by 3, then I should be able to get it to cancel. Let me do that by 3. So 3 times 3, 9x plus 12y minus 3z equals 9. And then let me just double check that I times everything. 9, 12, 3, 9. Okay. I'm going to bring down c the same way. I'm just writing the c so you know where it came from. Okay, copy carefully, multiply carefully. These are not the ones you want to rush on because when you make a mistake, you have to go back and track it down. Okay, now the z's are going to cancel, which is what I was going for. So I'm going to go ahead and add down each column. 9x and x, 10x. 12 minus 3 is 9y. 9 plus 12 is 21. Okay, so I got equation 10x plus 9y equals 21. Okay, what I still can't solve, but if I put this together with this one, I should be able to solve those two equations together. So let me rewrite this equation with that equation. Okay, and let me just tell you, this one came from here, and this one came from here, okay? What do I want to do? Looks like elimination. What's the easiest way? Let's times the top one by negative 2. Okay, so what's that going to be? That's going to be negative 10x, negative 10y, negative 20. Second equation stays the same. Okay, now let's try to solve this. Okay, the x's cancel. What do I get? Negative 1y equals 1. Divided by negative 1, I get y equals negative 1. Okay, that was a lot of work just to get the first answer. Okay, but we did get the first answer, and that's the hardest part, is getting the first answer. Okay, so now I need to go back and find another answer, which should be easier now. Okay, I know that y equals negative 1. So I can take the y equals negative 1 and I can plug it into this equation, this equation, this equation, or this equation to solve for x. Which one am I going to plug it into? It makes no difference. I normally plug it in the one that has the smallest numbers. I'm going to do 5x plus 5y equals 10. Am I running out of room? Yeah. Okay, 5x plus 5y equals 10. So 5x minus 5 plus 5 divide by 5. Okay, I got x is 3. Okay, so I got x, I got y. What do I still need? I need z. Okay, to get z, I need to go back to an equation with z in it, which could be this equation, or this equation, and plug in. It does not matter which equation you pick. I pick the easiest equation that appears easy. For me, I'm going to pick B, just because the numbers are small, and yeah, that's the main reason. Okay, and it's positive, so for B, 2x plus y. What's y? Negative 1. Plus z. Oh, shoot. I already have x. Okay, hold on. 2x. Where's x? plus y. What was y? -1 plus z equals 7. Does that look better? Let's try this. So 6 minus 1 plus z equals 7. 5 plus z equals 7. Minus the 5, z is 2. Okay, so after all that, I got z is 2. Now, I'm going to still write my answer as an ordered triple. So what is x? X is 3, y is -1, and z is 2. Okay, so that's my final answer. If you want to check your answer, if you plug in x is 3, y is -1, and 2, into this equation you should get 3. This equation you should get 7, and then this equation you should get 12. And you probably don't want to check it every single time, but if it was a test and you had the extra time, you might want to double check your answer. Okay, now I'm going to have you try the next one. The answer is at the bottom, so you can check as you're going to make sure you're getting it right. I will go over it for if you're stuck and it's not working out, but the thing is you could do it differently than me, so it's really hard to check your work with other people if they've started with a different way of doing it. So try it your own way. And if your own way is not working, then you can go ahead and pause and get a tip, and then pause and keep going. Okay, now I'm going to look at this. I'm deciding which variable to cancel first, x's, y's, or z's. Now, the y's, these two y's look pretty easy to cancel, but I could also cancel these z's. They look pretty easy to cancel, so it's up to you which one you want to do. Okay, I'm going to cancel the y's out. And because b and c have the easiest y's to cancel out, I'm going to start with those. And then again, if you did it differently, that's okay. We will get the exact same answer at the end, unless one of us makes a mistake, which is entirely possible. Okay, so I'm going to get 5x plus 2z equals -14. Okay, now I used equation B and C. I have to use equation A on my next step. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy it down now. Okay, and then because I canceled the y's out, I have to cancel the y's out again. So if I want to cancel -2y out, it's up to you whether you think that this equation or this equation will be easier to cancel out. For me, I'm going to use B. Just because the number at the end was smaller. If you do it differently, we will get the same answer at the end. So what am I canceling? I'm canceling the y's out. Since this is -2x, I want this to be +2x. So let me times that by 2. Okay, if I times by 2, what do I get? 4x, 2y. 16, and then let me bring down equation A. Okay, now if I did this right, the y should cancel. Let's try it. 4x, 5x plus 13z equals 19. Okay. So I'm going to take this equation and this equation and line them up because they have x's and z's in them now. Okay, let's see. If you learned the subtraction method, you could subtract down, and that would work. I think I'm going to times by negative on one of them. What is that? -5x, -13z, -19. Okay, let me bring over the next one. 5x, -14. Okay, the x's cancel. I get -11z, -33. Does that divide? It does. I get z equals 3, which is a good sign. I try not to give you any fractions on this. So if you get a fraction, go back and check your arithmetic. And when you're doing these, if you get big numbers here, 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 don't panic. Wait till you get to the final step and then see if your answer comes out nicely. Because sometimes it's just, you get big numbers along the way and it's okay. Okay, let me take my z as 3 and I'm going to plug it back into, I think, the first equation. plus 2z, negative 14, 5x, minus 6. So I get x is negative 4, which I feel good about because it's not a fraction. And my teacher doesn't give me a lot of fractions for these. Okay, I have x and z. I need y. So I can plug it in equation A, B, or C. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use B only because, for no particular reason. Okay, 2x plus y plus 5z equals 8. And if you pick a different equation to plug into, we should get the same anyways. Negative 8 plus 15 is 7. So y plus 7 equals 8. So I get minus 7. I get y equals 1. Okay, and then let me go ahead and write my ordered triple. So I have negative 4, comma 1, comma 3. Okay, and again, if you want to check your answer, you can plug it back into the original equations. It should equal 3, 8, and negative 22 when you plug it in.